Caitlin Clark is an underdog.
Caitlin Clark is a superstar. Not a female superstar. She is a superstar.
Caitlin Clark effect has now hit the WNBA. It has been announced today.
But the best basketball of the weekend, the best player in America, the best shooter in America, Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark is widely regarded as the leading candidate for Rookie of the Year. Earlier in the season, some analysts, including Monica McNutt, made comments that were interpreted as questioning whether it was appropriate or respectful for Clark to be included on Team USA, although her exact remarks are not clearly remembered. She later expressed a similar viewpoint during an appearance on Get Up. At the same time, Angel Reese was listed around plus 350 in the odds, making her a strong contender. This perspective was reasonable, as Reese was averaging only slightly fewer points than Clark, while also leading the league in rebounds.
Me and Angel would both give you the same answer, like, you don't wake up and think about individual awards. I know that's what all of you think we do. I know we don't. Like, that's what everybody wants to make this about, but like, we both of our teams are competing for playoff spots. Like, that's our main focus. That's a selfish thing to just care about an individual award, and she would give you the same.
When it comes to selecting the Rookie of the Year, she stated that her decision would be based on the standings. This approach drew criticism, with many people expressing surprise and questioning her reasoning, calling it an unexpected way to evaluate the award.
And Aaliyah starting to cook in that pick and roll. Kelsey Mitchell now knows how to come to the ball, and Caitlin is now picking up where to find her. Timmy Fagbenle, very versatile as a 4-5 and a competitor. Like, all right, now I know I gotta get my hands ready to catch these passes from Caitlin. Nalissa Smith finally turned a corner in terms of her engine. I actually think that Indiana has a good chance.
Someone who is not typically supportive of Caitlin Clark stated that their choice for Rookie of the Year would be based on team standings.
7, that's going to be runaway in terms of Rookie of the Year, even if Angel continues. Like, the 28 is the most double-doubles in the season Alyssa Thomas had last year. Angel already has 13. That will also be historic if she's able to track that. But if she tracks that and they're 9, 8, Caitlin and pulls them to 7, one of my bigger metrics on this Rookie of the Year conversation is going to be, how do you impact winning?
Then it's because they can't do what you do.
Bingo.
Good for you to say something like that, right? Hopefully she'll continue to do what she's doing. This is a GOAT. African-American women who they can't.
For those who may not realize, at that stage of the season, the teams were separated by only half a game. This is why some people felt it was a reasonable way to judge a player's overall impact. The Sky were slightly ahead in the standings and holding a playoff spot, which led some to lean toward Angel Reese. What makes this situation even more interesting is that at the time this conversation was taking place, the teams were essentially tied, sharing the same number of games back, with only a minimal 0.4 difference in their win percentages.
Is playing against Caitlin Clark, okay? They have this big game going on. Neither one of them are the best teams in the league, but she gets fouled, Caitlin Clark does, and this is how Angel Reese, who she became a champion, by the way, in college. I think she won the championship. Caitlin Clark in the championship.
Exactly, 2 years ago.
However, for whatever reason, the audience likes watching Caitlin more because she's more exciting than Angel. But watch what she says after the way she fouls Caitlin Clark. Go ahead.
I remember it clearly. It was almost a tie. Angel Reese had been on an impressive double-double streak and was aiming for her 12th, which would break a record that had stood for more than 2 seasons.
I think we were playing really hard. I think we went up really strong a lot of times, and we didn't get a lot of calls. And going back and looking at the film, I've seen a lot of calls that weren't made. I guess some people got.
I believe she has already reached 11. Additionally, considering her situation with Teresa Weatherspoon in her first year as head coach and without another #1 draft pick currently on the team, her performance becomes even more impressive.
Well, first of all, I think it's jealousy. I don't want to get in. There's a lot of articles out there that are using the R word and talking about this. I think it is pure, unadulterated jealousy. And the last clip from Angel Reese, they're watching me too. They're watching me too. It's like she's begging us to believe in her validation. Whereas the numbers, words talk, Angel, numbers scream, and the numbers are screaming that the fans.
At the moment, that roster does not include another All-Star. What is most interesting about Monica McNutt is that she faced a decision, either to apologize eventually or to stand firm in her original opinion.
Reese, watch this clip. She says the following. Go ahead and play it. She needs a lot of it.
We are watching women's basketball, not just because of one player, but because of me as well. And I want everyone to understand that the game is bigger than any single individual.
To say, well, Joe Rogan is number one and we are important too, because that's not how podcast and competition works. You know who tells you you're good? The flipping market tells you're good. By the way, you know when's the last time I watched a WNBA game? Never. Till today. I've still not watched a W.
To her credit, she decided to stand by her position. Do you think she made the right choice by doubling down? And was it surprising to see her take that stance? The day after Caitlin Clark won the game, she officially named Clark as Rookie of the Year, and I genuinely don't agree with how some people are criticizing her for it. We don't get to say that.
The foul, look how different the response is.
By Angel Reese, what's going through your mind and how you just stay within yourself to finish the game?
What's going through my mind is I need to make these 2 free throws. That's all I'm thinking about. It's just a part of basketball. It is what it is. You know, just trying to make a play on the ball and get the block. But yeah, I mean, it happens. And those free throws, when you have to shoot them with nobody at the line, are kind of hard. So it's a little different than having people at the line. So I was just trying to.
It seems that people are criticizing her and suggesting that she may not be sincere. However, it's important to remember that anyone can be mistaken. Would you prefer that she stand her ground like Cheryl Swoops, or argue that Jade Nalburn should have been selected as Rookie of the Year instead?
Could be raising the tide and lifting all boats. And I think Angel Reese needs to take a pill because there is a great opportunity here. And I think jealousy is reigning.
Or do you think it's better for even the most critical Caitlin Clark critics to acknowledge her talent? Which approach do you prefer? Personally, I believe it's more important for people to take responsibility for their mistakes.
Talking about your league, nobody cared about the WNBA until that girl, Caitlin Clark. I don't care what color she is. She's ridiculous. She's nasty. And now people are watching and you guys are talking shit about her. You're like, what are you guys doing? They're sabotaging things. She should leave. She should have got those other contracts. Where does she have a contract to go somewhere else?
Big Three.
She should have gone to the Big Three. To hell with the WNBA. They're nothing. They're nobody. Nobody's watching.
They lost $50 million. The WNBA lost $50 million. The only reason they make it is because the NBA kind of gives money to them to help them out. It's a lost cause every year.
Here's the thing. It's interesting how opinions can change over time. There was a time when someone strongly criticized Caitlin Clark, though I can't recall their exact words. Now, thanks to Clark, the Indiana Fever has become a team to be taken seriously.
Viewership, okay? Game. 7,300 in attendance, okay? The average Angel Reese game is 10,100, 10,200. They come to watch her. You know what the average attendance is when Caitlin Clark plays home or the road?
What?
15,000.
I think it's great when people are willing to change their minds and recognize genuine talent rather than holding on to negativity. One standout moment of the season was a pass she delivered to Aaliyah Boston during the game against Dallas, where Boston was fouled and missed. Clark made a strong baseline drive, appearing at first to set up a classic Steve Nash-style dribble, but instead went behind her back and continued the move before being fouled on her cut. Many fans have also expressed frustration over recent comments made by Monica McNutt regarding Caitlin Clark.
Leader in Iowa. One person takes it to the finals. She loses, but they had nobody else. And she scored more points in college than Pistol Pete Maravich, you know, who he died in an interesting way. Yeah. So why do you think it's happening? Why do you think it's happening?
One word.
Is DEI?
Is it race?
No.
Wokeness? Is it
Stats. Feminism?
No.
Progressive?
You know, it's one word to me, and it's underdog.
An article from Athlon Sports notes that Monica McNutt has faced criticism for her change in opinion regarding Caitlin Clark. Some people are questioning whether McNutt has officially made her Rookie of the Year selection, as her earlier comments appeared that downplay Clark's achievements. Monica McNutt faced backlash for her earlier criticism of Caitlin Clark, a WNBA player, in which she suggested that Clark was overshadowing others and indicated that Angel Reese should be Rookie of the Year. Clark then delivered a dominant 5-game stretch, while Reese struggled with fouls. Fans debated McNutt's remarks, but Clark's consistent improvement made her the clear frontrunner. Meanwhile, with Reese sidelined, the Chicago Sky performed well, led by Camila Cardoso.